So this episode, we came over to New Smyrna Beach and Oak Hill area. So the story behind that is quite unique. The new local water series that me and Digital Sportsman have put together is a fishing industry social where we come into an area, we share fishing stories, we share local knowledge. One of the things we like to do in these seminars is literally talk about some of the problems and issues that might be going on in the water world and the waterways, which brought up my man Frank from the habitat side of CCA. Frank said, hey, you know, how many times have we talked about you coming over here and fishing where I grew up in my local waters? And this fits perfect, man. Let's go fishing the morning of, and let me show you where I grew up and where I like to fish. Super stoked about today. I got one of my best acquaintance, friends, fishing buddies, chat buddies on planet Earth that works at CCA in the habitat side of things. We're gonna go after some redfish and some trout. There's such new things going on over here. This place is rebounding well. The fish are doing better. A lot of stuff is doing better thanks to some people getting involved in the right places. And I'm excited about today, and I can't wait to show you what we get into. Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
You ready to go see if we can get this done?
I'm ready.
All right, me too. Let's do it.
So Danny and I have been trying to get together and fish for a while now, and Danny gave me an invitation to come over to this local waters event in New Smyrna Beach, and so I thought it'd be a great idea, since we were doing this, to have Danny come a little bit early and come fish my home waters in Mosquito Lagoon.
Frank had a few minutes the day before to go out and look around and kind of touch base a little bit on some of his old spots, and he located a small group of fish doing so the day before we got there. And we went straight to that, wasn't far from the ramp, went straight to it, and they were sure there. So Frank, this area over here is sensitive, everybody knows that, and we're in a 27-foot deck cap. Okay, we're taking on a challenge.
Yep.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts. We both know it. But I'm ready. Are you ready?
Oh, absolutely.
What's the game plan right here? What do you think?
Well, basically what we've done is we've run around this flat. This is a long sandbar that kind of peters out into a grass flat. And we come around, we're using the wind to our advantage, and we're gonna come in nice and quiet. We're gonna stay in the deep water, and we're gonna cast up into the shallow water. And the fish should be right along that edge or kind of spread out in a little deeper part of the flat where there's grass. We definitely want to focus on the grass today.
And I've already seen some mullet here lining up, so you are spot on about that. We all know that the mullet is a good thing. That's a good thing. So I'm excited. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what kind of mess we can make. Oh,
Yep,
Frank, that's him.
Yep, I see him.
That's him.
Yep. That's a lot of fish right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be them. That's got to be.
Gotta be.
I'm telling you, this is right about where they were yesterday, just to the left of this pole.
There's something there they like.
Yesterday.
Yeah, right here.
Yep, definitely. I can't quite get there. Oh, I just got hit. I just got hit.
Oh, ow! I just got popped right there too.
I'm telling you.
Right there. I see him moving left. Yeah.
I gotta get another bait on. They're here. That's good.
We did your typical redfish tackle presentation. We had some reaction flash, some wobble, some noise. We had a little more of a sensitive factor with the paddle tails. We had a top water plug that we threw since it was very first thing in the morning. We got a few sniffers and a few opportunities we just didn't do our part on. And the longer we sat on them fish and the more noise we made around those fish and the sun coming up, they just got too sensitive for us to rely on. We had to move on. It was still morning hours, you know, so we moved on to some other ideas and we just stuck with the top water plan. The top water bite, as long as you're in those few hours of the morning still, in my opinion, when you're not sure where the fish are 100%, it is going to be your A1 search bait. So we stuck with that for quite a while. So I first met Frank through a mutual friend of mine at CCA with Lisa Fitzgerald. She brought him over to Cedar Key to my backyard, and we did a red fishing trip. And we got on the big school of fish, and it was phenomenal. It was one after the other for a couple of hours. We hit it off after that. We shared a lot of things that day. We found out that we're very similar in certain ways from how we grew up and the way we view things. And we've just been buddies ever since. And we've been talking about getting together and fishing. We finally got a chance to do so.
Ooh, big fish, big fish.
Swung on it. Got him?
I thought he was off.
Yeah, you got him. He just darted at you. Nice. Got the poles down. Good deal, good deal.
I knew they'd be up here.
I like it. That's a good one, Frank. That's how we get it rolling. And I wonder if he's got a buddy in there.
Slot.
Let me get on up so I can help you out with him. Yeah.
It's a trout.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah.
It's a nice trout.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Maybe I can get a hold of him without getting a hook.
Pretty trout. Look at that thing.
Can't tell how good he's hooked yet.
That's a single hook. So.
Oh, yeah. There we go. We're good. I did forget that you showed me that a second ago, and it was just a J hook. That helps a lot. On the homemade lure that Frank put together. Nice work. Hey, there ain't nothing no cooler than a lure you built and one that works. That's a pretty trout too. Right out of the lagoon. He's got sharp teeth if anybody at home wanted to know. Just tested the corner of it there for y'all. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nice work, Frank. There you go, fella. I thought he was gonna need a little more pampering than that, but he was ready for me to be done with him.
So my first trip to the Indian River Lagoon I was about maybe 7 or 8 years old, and I'll just never forget it. I was with my older brothers. It was the first time I'd ever been here, and we were coming out on a shrimping trip. And I'll just never forget it as a kid of that age, being on the water at night and you know, turning those shrimp lights on. We had a little Honda generator, and we ran the shrimp lights from that, and it was a super cold night. We were warming our hands up on the exhaust from the generator. But when those lights went on and it lit up the water and the shrimp started showing up and the trout and all the other bait fish and you know, just everything, all the sea life, it just blew my mind. I'll never forget it. And I didn't realize at the time, but as I got older, you know, when I reflected back on that, I realized that one trip really had an impact on the rest of my adult life. And when they say take a kid fishing, I mean, that's why. I remember when I was 16 years old, I saved up, and on my 16th birthday, I bought a car and a boat on the same day, and I've been a boat owner ever since. And as I got older, I spent years and years and years fishing Mosquito Lagoon, Indian River Lagoon, just having incredible trips and incredible experiences. And as I got older, got married and everything, a lot of things started to change. 2010, 2011, when we had the super bloom here, started with a drought and then severe cold blast that we had. I think that the temperatures in the lagoon were like 39 degrees at one point. And then that was followed by some really heavy rainfall. And all this triggered a series of events in the IRL that have changed the Indian River forever. And you know, I'm talking about super blooms, the brown tide, blue-green algae, you name it, we've had it. But I remember especially being out on the boat with my kids and my wife and them asking me questions that I couldn't answer. Questions about, you know, can we put our toes in the water? Can we eat a fish out of this kind of water? And frankly, I was embarrassed that I didn't know the answers to those questions. And one thing led to another, and I ended up closing my environmental consulting business and going to work for CCA Florida doing habitat restoration and water quality. And it was a huge change for me at the time, but I knew that I needed to be doing something more to give back to this resource that I just enjoyed decades of, fishing and shrimping and clamming and just enjoying the outdoors. That resource had changed and it was hurting. And I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to go to work for CCA and to start chipping away at all these issues. And one of the things I'm most excited about since coming to CCA 10 years ago is the fact that we've put over $3 million in funding back into habitat restoration projects in Florida, and we've taken that money and leveraged it with our partners to over $12 million in habitat restoration projects statewide.
Guys, it's time to take control of your business. With Digital Sportsman, you get an all-in-one platform built just for you. With seamless online booking, automated scheduling, plus you can seamlessly integrate our booking platform onto your website and manage your customers with ease. Your listings get put on the Digital Sportsman Experience Marketplace, driving more customers and getting you more bookings. More bookings, less admin work, and no commission fees. Join the platform built for guides by guides. Sign up today at www.dspro.guide.
After throwing the kitchen sink for a couple of hours at these fish in the lagoon, Frank said, I'm going very old school. I'm fixing to put together a bobber and a stinky worm, and I'm gonna make a lot of noise and see what happens. And about the third cast, it worked. Hey, look at there. Look at there. Fooled him with something nice and slow and simple. Oh yeah, not a bad trout.
Yeah.
No, not bad at all. Yeah, keeper if it mattered. It don't matter to us, but it is. Hey, we'll take what we can get, buddy.
Hey.
This lagoon is being hard on us. This wind, stirring the water up. It's warming up fast. We're in that warming trend. May not be the best time to be here, but we seem to just pick challenges and just see what we can do with them. Nice job keeping your head moving. Frank was like, hey, maybe we need something slower and noisier. So here we are. We got us a little, I call it a dummy rig. I don't mean anything by that, but it's a bobber and a jig head. Very simple presentation. So as the morning kind of left us and we went into the mid-morning, the sun come up, the water started getting a little bit hotter, and the wind picked up as well. And everything the locals have been saying was that the lagoon is a morning bite. We knew that as well, and it became very evident pretty quick. So at that point, we realized, we have a pretty important social event with Digital Sportsman set up for tonight. We have a lot going on with that. We decided to go ahead and go in a few minutes early, get cleaned up, and head over to JB's for the rest of the evening. So Local Waters is a fishing industry social where we come into an area, we share fishing stories, we share local knowledge, we bring in somebody that can help with whatever might be happening in that area. This one here specifically, we use CCA with Habitat because of the lagoon's history. The Local Waters event is really solely meant to bring the same types of people into a circle and really and truly dig deep and discuss everybody's directions and what we can do to help each other. At the Local Waters events, obviously we get a chance to network with like-minded folks. I'm sharing some of the day stories with Austin, telling him about mine and Frank's history, and me and Austin just hit it off. I mean, we follow each other on Instagram. We've seen each other work over the past couple of years or whatnot, but we met in person, had some drinks, ate some great food there at JB's, and we hit it off. And he said, why don't you stay another night? He goes, I got a killer snook bite that I think we can jump right into in the morning, and that may just fancy things up a bit for you. He had my attention immediately, and we had to do it. Austin said, be at the ramp super early. We gotta be on them fish while it's dark, before the traffic comes out. These fish do a little something when it's dark. Once that light comes out, they change their trend completely. So the dark is a huge factor for these fish.
So the key to catching these fish this time of year is starting before the sun comes up and before all these other boats get out there. You can catch fish incoming tide, outgoing tide. That really doesn't make a difference, but the key factor is you got to get there before the fish start feeling the pressure of the other boats.
So just like a lot of folks that fish in their backyard, they have a very simple way of making things work. His was to go up current, make a long cast forward with a little bit of weight, make sure the bait gets straight to the bottom, and drift these passes.
So this time of year, the fish are keyed up on shrimp and small live baits. You can catch them really, really good if you present a bait that they haven't seen in quite some time, which is why we're using big ocean croakers this time of year.
Something very unique and rare happened. I actually caught the first one. Usually it's my co-host makes me look bad. So I actually, for a change, got to be the first man on the stick. But that luck quickly ran out and things went back to normal, where Austin took over the helm. After that second fish, it became very clear what Austin was explaining to us is that dark is everything. The daylight came out, things got a little tough, and along with the daylight come the traffic. We made a few other changes, we tried a few other ideas. It was kind of the same thing in every idea. So we said to ourselves, you know what, let's go back to what worked the first time and give it one more shake. And I'll be darned if we didn't get that third bite and Austin come through just with a little bit of poking to the bear. I got him serious about what was going on.
I just missed one over here.
What?
Yep.
You got to get it together, cuz we're trying to go home.
This is my first day, son. I don't do this often, but I say.
Did you lose your bait? Dang.
I don't want to talk about it.
We don't have a lot of bait neither, cuz.
Can you leave me alone?
Stop picking on me.
What happened there?
Grass or something.
Yeah. Grass.
I mean, nothing came behind it. It just like split second snag and then that was it. Over with. Skeeter. Oh yeah, come on with it. I told you. See, I knew. Listen, I've been in this game a long time. I knew if I picked on you a little bit, you'd come through. You quit messing around.
I work better under pressure.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You didn't want me to tell all you boys you was fault.
That's it. I didn't want them to know you're whooping my butt.
That's right. Yeah, I don't mind putting your stuff in the street, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, Lordy. Nice one. It might be a little bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, same-ish.
That's dinner.
All right.
That's dinner size
Sweet.
right there. As a full-time charter captain, I watch my clients catch many snook each year, and very rarely do I get the opportunity to actually go out myself and enjoy the fishery that I love and keep one. So today we ended up catching a perfect slot, ended up keeping him. He'll fry up nice, he'll be a great dinner tonight.
So after seeing how everything was coming together, just like Austin had said the night before, dark, 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 once the daylight comes out, it's gonna get tough. I told Austin, I said, you know what? I said, 3's always been my favorite number. Let's close out on this one. Let's put it back on the trailer and go to the house. One of the things about the Beyond the Surface episodes that always weighs heavy on me is I try my very best to make them unique and different. And I know this episode is probably gonna be looked at and seen and went, there's a lot going on there. Well, there is. And Beyond the Surface has so many directions and layers, it's hard to sometimes put all those together. But in my opinion, I'm gonna love this episode. And the reason why is because there's such a full circle of story involved in this episode, especially with Austin I'd never met before at a local waters event that's new, first ever. along with fishing with an old buddy of mine and something we've been wanting to do for years, I think this could easily be one of my favorite episodes yet. So we're pulling into Virginia Beach. We're just now getting here from a long ride from Florida. Me and Travis have been talking about this episode and this trip for pretty close to a year. Travis is a very interesting fella as I've gotten to know him a little off and on. But he and me both see eye to eye on certain things. We both would rather go catch a couple of monsters than 35 little ones. So that's the plan. The plan is to see how many big redfish we maybe can catch. And the other plan is to see how this cobia migration works this far north. This is something that is new to me. I didn't even really realize this was a thing until recent years here. So stay tuned as we go beyond the surface here in Virginia Beach just to find out how big these fish really are. Fish on.
Got him? Got him on, baby.
Son.
He ain't.
Got him! Yeah! This is a big fish. I don't know that he realizes he's hooked quite yet. When you go beyond the surface, we're foolproof fishing in Virginia Beach with Captain Travis. It's all big. It's all big.